Okay, time for the next instalment on the Brazil vlog. Now this year's been a bit, so I decided to take a little bit of time putting the next ones out. So this tells the story of this picture and how I didn't die trying to get it.
Claudia?
Us too, yeah, first time.
Have you been to Christ the Redeemer yet?
Yep.
No, we will go tomorrow.
Yes, we have.
You are going tomorrow?
Yes.
Very good.
When you say you feel low and good things are hard to see.
So the day started with a beach tour where we'd see some of the beaches.
I know somewhere we could be. There's a place where we can go tonight. The rhythm will make it right.
Okay, so on the jeep
We can turn back.
exploring some of the beaches
enjoy
here in
the
De Janeiro.
We wanna.
Okay, so we've got our first stop, or one of our first stops on our jeep tour, which led us to a nice little restaurant about an hour outside of Rio. Quite nice, there's food, drink, the views are amazing. The fact that it's probably nearly snowing at home is incredible because it is like 30 degrees here. And we've got views of the sea and the boats and the harbour and all that stuff. So, me and Helen have just literally hiked up a bunch of hill. On this jeep tour we've got a bit of hiking to do. I don't think you realised, did you? Now the jeep's taken us up.
I thought it would go up further.
She thought it would go up further, but the jeep's gone up as far as it can, which is a hell of a long way. It was going pretty much really steep, stupidly steep. Yeah, so that's going back down the park, and when he catches up with us, we're going to make our way however far it is. I think it's 1.5 kilometres straight uphill. I can do it. I don't know about yourself, but we'll try. We'll try. So having a quick rest because it's about 200 metres straight uphill and that's spread over 1.5 kilometres. Helen did the first 50 metres, she had to turn back, it was just too difficult. And I don't blame her because it is very, very difficult, I am struggling. But we stopped for a break, got a bit of water, I caught up with the group and probably about another kilometre and a bit straight uphill. I've done it before, I'll be fine. So I've stopped again because it's very, very intense. It's very difficult. It's literally it's like the Mount Lee I did, but like twice as hard. It's straight up. It's humid. It's hot. But if I keep trying and I keep pushing at my own speed, and I just keep pushing, but eventually I will get there. Okay, so getting there, going up some very, very steep bits and pieces towards like my own bit, but I will catch up. There are literally just trees everywhere. Like they say there's a shortage of trees, no there isn't, there's millions of the things out here.
Like with something like this.
It just keeps going up. I mean, I expected that, but when you feel all the lactic acid in your ankles and your feet and your arms and you really can't move any longer and it keeps going up. So another 20 minutes later I got to the top. Okay, so we reached the top. It wasn't the top. I thought it was, but it wasn't. And we've got this big rock thing that I've got to be really careful of. And the view from the top, I'll make sure I'm taking photos, but this is the view from the top of the rock on a mountain. Sunset. So we're on a group of 4 people and the tour guide, 4 people and the tour guide. Helen didn't come up because it was just way too difficult. Even I struggled, I really did struggle. But bit by bit, got all the way to the top. And this is the amazing view behind me. So we've got the tour guide behind us, taking some photographs, which I'll pose for in a minute. So at the top we have some people who have carried some drinks up, probably overpriced, but you know. And of course, I'm sitting on the rock behind me having the photo, and of course the views all around us. But yeah.
Yes.
So I've got to tell you, Helen, that the views are amazing, but they're about the same as what we've seen before. It is a nice view, but it wouldn't have been worth the hike. It is for me, but you know, it was challenging. It was very challenging. So yeah, pity they don't have an escalator or a lift or a cable car or something. But yeah, it's basically the same as Sugarloaf Mountain, apart from you get up on foot.
And our presidents, since this is military, our presidents, sometimes they come here to rest, to take a rest. So the one in charge, that is Bolsonaro, came last year.
So that wasn't the top. It kind of was, but you had to go sort of up, round the mountain and down, maybe a little bit lower, to get to the special rock. This was in a very hard to get to area, which can only be reached by foot, with some mountaineering on the way. In the distance behind me, one of the pointy rocks, I'll annotate it now, that is where Christ the Redeemer is. Okay, so we're just coming down the mountain on the other side now, and there's the most famous part. You can tell where all the tourists hanging around. There's like a rock that has a sheer drop. That is a good photo opportunity. Here's all the people. Does not look dodgy at all. So this behind me is the famous rock that people hang off and pretend it's my turn. Okay, so this is the big famous rock behind me that people hang off, and it looks like they're on a ledge. There is a bit below it, so you're not in total danger. I just had a photo here because there is a big queue to get to it, and it will take hours to get to it. So, but it has an amazing. Look at these nuts behind me. So at this point, there was no plan for me to go on the rock. Up until about 10 minutes ago, I didn't know it was there. So the tour guide has asked me to start queuing, so maybe we will get a picture on the rock. Christ the Redeemer. Crack 'em. So a little further in the queue, we're in the middle of it now. Look at all this. You've just got the sea and Copacabana and Christ Redeemer in the background and all of that. You've got all this Amazon rainforest behind us. Okay, so I did it. No video, unfortunately, because I was the only one filming. I didn't take this camera along because I was worried about security concerns. I was worried about it getting stolen. I was worried about it getting broken. I didn't really know what I was heading into. Like I said, I didn't know the rock was there. I just filmed it on a cheap phone. It wasn't this phone, but I filmed it on a cheap phone I took along, which cost me 20 quid off eBay. So, not bad. So I did it. That is a lot harder than it looks to hold your own weight up. I know there's only a few foot drop before the real cliff face, but that's really hard to do. You had to literally let me put my hands there, hold my weight as I put my feet up, then leave me for a second. I couldn't get down. He had to come back to me. I literally couldn't get down. I couldn't get off that thing. He had to come back to me, hold my back, so my feet could come down, so I could get down safely. Oh, adventurous. Just doing the next people now. So we've got like, it's going to be dark in 15 minutes, and we've got 1.5 kilometres straight downhill, down the side of the mountain. So I'm going to do that, see all the lights in Copacabana coming on in the distance. Yeah, heading back to the hotel. Bye. Photographer, tour guide. So as you can see, it's a double cliff. You've got the first cliff and then the second one before it actually does start to drop. However, it's not without danger. You're still hovering 6 or 7 foot off the ground, upside down. My legs were locked in place. I couldn't release them because I had someone help me there before the photo, and I had to make sure my grip was tight. People have hurt themselves before. They have let go. They have fell off the thing. It's a solid concrete rock below, and I'm only being held by my hands. Now had I fell or knocked my head, it would have been pretty dangerous. Not as dangerous as a 300+ metre fall, but you can still crack your head open. People have been hurt there before. I've done a little reading up on it. Helicopters have been scrambled up there to rescue people. It's not danger free, but that looks a lot more dangerous than it is. It's a great picture.